Hey guys, what's going on? This is your old pal CHH. Come on in, have a seat. Going to talk to you guys. This may be more of like a podcast style video. I don't know. Depends on if I have the time to actually edit this properly and throw a bunch of stuff in. You'll know, obviously. But listen, Vinegar Syndrome is not the same company anymore. And I don't necessarily say that as a negative, but of course it's not just a pure net positive. Any company is going to have problems. But what do I mean? When I got into Vinegar Syndrome, you have to understand something. When I found and got into Vinegar Syndrome, the biggest titles they did were low-budget slasher films. I mean, they were a company that were known for putting out films like Madman. Like, that's what they were. This was years ago. Demon Wind was like one of the premier titles that they had. But things definitely started to shake up, especially when they got a movie like Fade to Black was like a big one. Fade to Black was a movie that definitely was like, wait a minute, whoa, that title got a big push on In Search of Darkness. Now Vinegar Syndrome got it? Wow. And then all of a sudden, things started to creep out. Then Showgirls came out. Roadhouse. People were blown away by Roadhouse. But they still obviously maintain, a fan base strictly off of movies that are unseen or unappreciated or just possibly even never seen. And they get their life because of Vinegar Syndrome. But they're definitely not the same company that they were. It's not a clickbaity title in the slightest. They truly are not the same company. And I have two titles I want to talk to you guys about. It's insane that they have the Vinegar Syndrome logo in this. I never would have thought this in a million years. The first one we'll talk about is obviously this one, guys. Check this out. I did not buy the slipcover. I couldn't do it. This is Dirty Work on 4K. Rest in peace to Norm Macdonald. I love Norm. He was my favorite Weekend Update guy, especially as a kid. One of the funniest guys, but he was a comedian's comedian. He didn't translate the way Adam Sandler did to people. He was always in the big movies with people, and he has starred in his own movies, but he was never a breakout movie star. He was always just a truly super talented comedian. I love Norm. I'm a huge Norm Macdonald fan. This 4K, and I think I said this, but I got to emphasize, this is the slipcover. I'll pull this up right now. I could not bring myself to buy it. I hate it so much. It's disgusting. I don't want to look at it. I don't want you to have to stare at it. So I opted to just get the movie without the slipcover. I don't regret it. Now I'm curious though, does it have reversible art? It does. It's got, let me show you this. It's got the moment where Artie and Norm are holding the fish. That's and of course they have it with Norm on there. But I like the theatrical poster. It's nothing special, but it's definitely very, very late 90s, which I love. So I've got some interesting things to say about this release. It isn't a perfect release, but it still kind of is, and I'll tell you why. Dirty Work came out in the late 90s. This movie got swallowed up by Godzilla, no pun intended. It failed. It flopped at the box office. It was directed by Bob Saget. That's right, the dad from Full House. It starred Norm Macdonald and the great Artie Lang, who absolutely carried the Howard Stern show in the 2000s. Howard is trash now. Howard sucks. He's a terrible DJ. He's a terrible host. He has completely got sucked into Hollywood. He's not fun anymore. Howard Stern sucks. I'm sorry I went on a tangent there, but yes, Howard Stern absolutely sucks. Even his interviews are crap. Anyway, Artie Lang was the guy. He was the funniest guy. Artie Lang is hysterical. The fact that he's still alive is amazing. I'm glad he's still here. I love Artie Lang. Anyway, these two guys grow up, and they're always bullied. They're the dorks, and then they get the bright idea to create a company because they're good at getting revenge on bullies. So what ends up happening is they create Dirty Work. Their business is, hey, hire us to do your dirty work. We'll get revenge on people you don't like. Obviously, this causes all sorts of hijinks. They get in situations with the mayor of the town. Chevy Chase plays a gambling addict doctor. I know I'm a Chevy fanatic. You guys know that, but I'm telling you, Chevy is hysterical in this film. I absolutely love Chevy Chase in this movie. The movie's great. Now, what's amazing about this is they were able to dig up the footage that was inevitably cut for the film because the studio really wanted this to be PG-13. They thought it would have been the right thing to do. In hindsight, it wasn't. I think this movie would have been even more successful had it been R. But at the same time, watching it as the rated R cut, I wasn't unhappy. There are little moments here and there, dialogue and things like that, but the biggest thing to take away from this is actually in the beginning of the film. I will describe it to you because it doesn't take away from how funny and gross it is. I thought it would, but I'm not going to. So in the R-rated cut, this was cut from the film, but Artie and Chevy actually talked about this on Howard Stern back in 2008. There's a moment when they're in a flashback scene and they show Artie and Norm in high school, and they get revenge on all the jocks in the school by giving them donuts. But at the bottom of the box of donuts, it's a picture of them two where they've got hard-ons and they have stacked all the donuts on their dicks. And so everybody starts gagging, and it's nasty. The picture is hysterical when you see like the Polaroid of them doing it. So this release is absolutely jam-packed, which is amazing. There's a feature-length documentary with a bunch of people that worked on the film. The cast in this is super impressive. Even Adam Sandler and Chris Farley have moments in this film, which is funny. But the special features on this is out of this world. The documentary is breathtakingly good. I loved it so much. Here's the thing. I actually think that the Blu-ray disc is the best way for you to watch this, because the 4K is so sharp and grainy in scenes that are not outside. It's distracting for me. I could tell this was done meticulously to make it look as good as it does. It's not even that it looks necessarily bad, but it is super grainy and ultra sharp. I actually think that the Blu-ray in the 1080p format cuts that back a little bit. Still looks super impressive. I mean, super impressive, but doesn't have that extreme harshness the way the 4K does. If you get this, pop on the 4K, see what you think. My money says put the uncut version of the Blu-ray on, and it's perfect. That's the way I want to watch this. But it does have 3 discs, and it's got the first assembly cut of this movie, where it has everything that was almost filmed at that point, but it's a lot slower, and the quality is terrible, but it's there, which is important. You got your first disc, which is the dirtier version, is what they called it, on Blu-ray. Then you've got the theatrical cut on Blu-ray, which has all the bonus features on there, like the making of and everything. And then you've got the 4K, which has obviously both the dirtier cut and the theatrical cut. Watching the theatrical cut is fine because that's the way the people saw it when it came out and all that. But this release is great. That's my only gripe. That's why I say it's not a perfect release, is because the 4K just looks almost too sharp and grainy. It's just like, it doesn't need to look like this that harsh. So pop the Blu-ray on, and I think the Blu-ray is a 10 out of 10. So I highly recommend Dirty Work. This is an actually funny movie. Great soundtrack, by the way. But yeah, that's my only gripe, is the 4K is just almost too sharp looking and grainy. So that's that. And then the next one, this is the VSU, guys. This is insane. The Golden Child from Vinegar Syndrome. Look at this. Look at this thing. This is beautiful. I love this release. This is an absolute dynamite-looking release, and this is why I say they're not the same anymore, but I'm not unhappy about it. I actually really like this movie. I had seen this movie since I was a baby. I remember this guy so much, and I remember when I watched Last Action Hero for the first time, I was like, where do I remember that guy from? Sure enough, it was the Golden Child. So this actually looked fantastic. This was an 11 out of 10 4K, and for the most part, we should expect that from Vinegar Syndrome. I think they do all their restorations themselves. This release actually looked remarkably fantastic. To summarize this movie very, very briefly, guys, Eddie Murphy's this detective in town. In Tibet, there's this golden child, but the kid gets kidnapped because they want to stop the kid from basically existing, because if you get rid of the golden child, the world will go straight to hell. It's kind of It's a little bit of a silly premise, but it's taken seriously, I guess. But the cast in this is awesome. Eddie is money in this, and there's some really funny scenes. And I forgot how good the soundtrack was in this movie. There's a scene. So they send this girl to America to meet with Eddie to fight to get the golden child back. And there's a scene in this like ragtag house where there's a rat music video playing, and Eddie Murphy's kicking everybody's ass, and then the girl that's with him is kicking everybody's ass even harder. And this rat song is playing. It's the name of the song's slipping me. I should know. I know it, but I'm having a brain fart right now. This movie's really fun. I liked it a lot. It's not my favorite Eddie Murphy movie, but I think I like it more than like Coming to America, which may be sacrilege to some people. But I genuinely loved it. I had a great time with it. It's not perfect by any stretch. But here's the funny thing. I noticed this right when I opened this up. It already had a replacement disc that said, "Oops, we effed up." So there you go with that, There's a replacement disc in here. I didn't bother watching the actual 4K disc that's in the case. I obviously immediately just watched the replacement disc, which everything seemed fine. So I don't know what the issue is on the standard disc. But if anybody wants to be my guest and go watch that, let me know. How do I open this up? Okay, I have it upside down. So let's take this out. Of course, with any VSU, you get your booklet, and the booklet's really, 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 really nice. I was flipping through that, looking at pictures. The cast in this, like I said, was really, really awesome. Awesome pictures in here. And you know how that is, all the write-ups and stuff. So the book is nice. Has that strong smell. The slipcover's nice, too. I love the parrot on this side. And then you've got that dagger on the other. And then here's the 4K. You can reverse the art to where it has the kid on the other side, but I want the side with, obviously, with Eddie on it. It has got a lot of special features. There is interviews with basically a lot of the people involved with the making of this film. I don't remember seeing Eddie or anybody in here, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes features and interviews with people. That way you guys can see this. Yeah, this was a good release. I'm going to say that this is the best VSU release in a while because it's, to me, this is genuinely a better film than Congo, what was the last one? Virtuosity, and Navy SEALs. I think this is the best VSU in a while. I really do. But like I said, you should be fine to order this, although Vinegar Syndrome does this weird thing where they pull all their stuff off the website and then they'll bring it back up because they need to take a break or something. You don't have to worry about a replacement disc. They'll probably have this in there with yours already, but mine had this replacement disc already. I didn't watch the other disc to see what was wrong because what's the point? It doesn't matter. But a stacked release, a lot of bonus features. It looked 10 out of 10 good. So this is the latest I've gotten from Vinegar Syndrome. What can I say, guys? These were awesome. I really loved them. So there you have it, guys. The Golden Child from Vinegar Syndrome with this amazing art on the back. This is a gorgeous piece of physical media. It really is. And then Dirty Work. Get this and watch the Blu-ray disc. This movie is legitimately funny. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Vinegar Syndrome. If you like the fact that they're a different kind of company now, or do you miss the old days where they just put out trash crap movies? I don't know. I like where we're at now, but they're definitely a different company. So there you guys have it. Dirty Work, The Golden Child. Love it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Take care. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.